Hey all, I got the 2023 Barrel Aged Imperial Smells Like Bean Spirit from Mikerphone. All acronyms, I guess. And there's the Bean Baby. It's a reference to the Nevermind, Nirvana Nevermind cover. It's even got a little beaness there too, like the baby. So this is 15.7% alcohol, aged 25 months in Weller 12-year wheated bourbon barrels and conditioned on Sumatra coffee, beans, and maple syrup. I actually already had, I got all of them from this year because it was the only time that I was in the Chicago area when they released these ones. So I already had the double barrel one that was really strong and the maple bacon coffee variant. And they were both really good. This is just the regular one. I figured I'd do a review of this one and share the other ones with friends. And I'm using my Spiegelau barrel aged beer glass, which I wish is a little bit smaller, but still nice. And those bubbles are popping real fast, very fizzy sounding, which is what the other ones were like, but it still ended up, the other bottles I had seemed like they had a good mouthfeel. That's the thing, is when you have this fizzy soda-like carbonation on any beer, but especially big barrel-aged sweet beers, you can end up having a cola-like sort of thing, a rum and coke sort of feel. But we'll see about this one. 15.7, very strong. And this is probably a little too cold, but I do like to enjoy a beer starting cold, and then, this one's going to be a long sipper. Going to take a while to finish this, so it'll definitely warm up before I finish it. You can probably even see the legs on the camera there. Definitely boozy. And I think what I saw some people complaining about is that it was too coffee forward this year. I was like, I like the coffee. It smells good. Yeah, really good coffee aroma. It's deep and dark and earthy, and it's sort of vanilla, chocolatey, but it's not too charred and roasty. Yeah, it's not licoricey or anything like that. But definitely should probably warm up a little bit more before I can get a good aroma. Yeah, a little bit of a toasted marshmallow. Definitely bourbon, but the maple syrup and coffee are strong enough to duke it out with the bourbon barrel. I mean, there's definitely some alcohol in there, some heat, but it doesn't smell like paint thinner. It doesn't smell too scary boozy. But a very nice, it's a unique, I had the Bourbon County Coffee Stout from last year, and this is quite different to the smell. The maple syrup is having an effect a little bit, I'm sure. I'll probably just get more of that in the sort of the sweetness in the taste, and maybe get more smell of it as it warms up. There's definitely some of that in there, but it's blending with all the oak and everything. Yeah. Definitely has a nicer, more silky feel than the Bourbon County Stout. And the Bourbon County Coffee last year was like 2.5% less strong as this. This is super duper strong. Sometimes the Bourbon County stouts are over 15. And you can see that there's basically no head there. But it doesn't feel like it's a flat, fizzy, soda-y sort of thing. It got lots of maple flavor now. Maple bourbon candies. It is quite sweet, but with the booze and the kind of the bitterness coming from the additions and everything, it works out. Mm. You can see the legs are kind of falling on the glass, and they've got just a little bit of sort of brown color to them because this beer is just so dark and thick. the edges, there's like no light even coming from like the edges of the beer, whereas the Bourbon County Coffee Stout was not that dark actually. Yeah, this is a fun beer. Maybe I should have reviewed the double barrel one. That one was super duper strong. That was one that, yeah, definitely need to be shared with friends. Or else it's like drinking over a bottle of wine by yourself. And that one was 18.88%. So that's like, not like drinking 2 bottles of wine. Definitely sweeter. It's high calories as 2 bottles of wine. And this is really good. I wish I had, a nicer head and carbonation. I might have a finer feel, but it still kind of pulls it off. I'm not sure how it does it. And now it seems like, it kind of looks like it's totally flat. But when you sip it, it doesn't seem totally flat. And when you swallow it and it moves around, there's some aeration happening. And I can see some tiny bubbles. It's just so thick that I think it's hard for the carbonation to get through it. At first, a lot of it fizzed out, and now like there's some in there, but it's just not creating a head. It's not getting out of the beer very easily or something. Not sure exactly what's going on when you have these weird looking strong beers. But it's, yeah, kind of a bourbon coconut. And the coffee is really, it's a nice deep dark sort of flavor. It's not espresso-y, but I feel like it's really bringing out lots of chocolatey notes. Along with a sweet, base stout for sure. And there's some oakiness on the tongue that kind of dries it up. And the bourbon isn't overwhelming in the finish. I'm still tasting maple coffee. But the sweetness, you can kind of feel it in your teeth a bit. I stupidly had like a little bit of a chocolate caramel before I had this. And combined with like that sweetness and this, I'm feeling the sugar on my teeth. But even having a caramel before this, it's like, this is still super duper chocolate. Yeah, it's very, very caramely too. That's what I like when these stouts have a rich sort of caramel, dark chocolate, caramel, coffee, just all the candy notes. And I like that they only actually add coffee and maple syrup to this too, and you get all these flavors. They didn't have to add caramel or vanilla or anything to this. This is all you needed. It's just a weird look in the head that dies, but it's a pleasant drinking experience. So I'd give this one, I don't know, 4.5. It works out. Sometimes it seems like Mikerphone can really nail the big strong beers. Bye bye.